Hello chaps, it's John Robson here again from John Robson Guitar Tuition, and this week's lick of the week is going to be a little bit of jazzy exoticness. Now then, one of the questions I get asked a lot in lessons is, how do I play jazz? What scales do I use to get that exotic jazzy sound? And truth be told, there are many ways that can be achieved, but many of them sort of depend upon what mode you're in, what chord you're playing over, what the chord is that's following that, how the whole thing resolves and so on. So it can get a little bit involved. What I'm going to show you today is a way of getting some degree of exotic jazziness without any of that mind-numbing theory, you'll be glad to hear. What we're going to be doing is playing outside. Now, when we say outside playing, what we're talking about is we're going to be including notes that are in effect wrong notes. But wrong notes, here's a little tip for you, wrong notes only sound wrong if you stay on them long enough for the listener to notice. If you just put the odd little wrong note in passing, which is why they're sometimes called passing notes, then it just adds a little bit of exotic colour and sounds quite cool, as you're going to hear in this lick. Now then, the backing track for this consists of just one chord. It's an E minor 7 chord, that kind of thing, and this lick will work in absolutely any E minor situation. So as long as you're in E minor, you can use this lick, and if you can use it in E minor, you can transpose it into any other situation you want. Now, what we're going to be doing is taking a look at the notes that are in an E minor 7 chord, and if you don't know, those notes are E, G, B and D. And we're going to turn each one of those notes, the E, the G, the B and the D, into an arpeggio, into a major chord arpeggio. So the D note becomes a D major arpeggio. The E note becomes an E major arpeggio. Might seem a little bit weird playing something essentially E major in character over an E minor backing, but you'll hear that it works in this case. So that's a D major arpeggio, an E major arpeggio. We're going to be then following that with a G major arpeggio, then a B major arpeggio, and then start again with a D major arpeggio, then a G major arpeggio. I could have put another E major in there, but just the mechanics of this lick make it easier to just go straight from the D major to the G major. Then we're going to be going up to a B major arpeggio, then a D major arpeggio there. And within all of those arpeggios there are notes which fall outside the general kind of orbit, if you like, of classic E minor tonality. Right, so basically I'll move the camera in a second so you can get this a little bit in close up, but here's the bones of the lick. We're starting at the 5th fret on the 5th string, that D note there. Play it with your second finger, and that makes it quite easy to get this shape here, where you're playing the D root note of the arpeggio, the F sharp note, 4th string, 4th fret for the, I guess, the major third of that arpeggio, and you do that with your first finger, and then 7th fret D string for the A note, which is the 5th of that arpeggio. So it's that's a D major arpeggio. Anyway, then you just shift that up 2 frets to the E. There's your E major arpeggio. You then shift that up 3 frets to the G. Then we essentially take the same shape again, but this time starting on the 4th string, I beg your pardon, on the 4th string, 9th fret, and that's a B major arpeggio. We now have to change the shape slightly because of the sort of slight disparity in the tuning of these two strings, the 3rd and 2nd. We go to the 7th fret on the 3rd string for that D note, and then the 7th fret on the 2nd string for the F sharp note, and the 10th fret on the 2nd string for the A note, and that's another D major arpeggio. then the 8th fret on the 2nd string, again going back to the second finger now for the first note in the arpeggio. That's a G note, 7th fret top E string, 10th fret top E string, so that's a G major arpeggio. We then shift that up to the 12th fret, exactly the same shape, play the same thing again there. We get a B major arpeggio, and finally up at the 15th fret on the 2nd string for that D note there, same shape again. That gives us a D major arpeggio, and then as you're going to see, the lick then finishes off and resolves with a nice strong inside tonality note, the D to E bend, 15th fret on the 2nd string. Here's the lick demonstrated once again. I'll talk through the arpeggios as I do it, and then I'll shift the camera down so you can kind of see more closely what's going on. Here it is. This is a D major, E major, G major, B major. I'll start it again, sorry. D major, E major, G major, B major, D major, G major, B major, D major, and then finally finish off with that, I guess, pentatonic position. 1, bend there like that. Right, let me just move the camera so you can see that in close-up. Then you're going to hear the lick demonstrated with a little bit better sound quality at full speed and then slowed down. Anyway, here we go. Here's the close-up. Right, here's that lick again, but probably a little bit easier to see this time. I'll just run through the arpeggios, starting with the D major, into the E major, into the G major, into the B major, D major, G major, B major, D major, and then finish on the bend. Here they are again. Now let's hear that with a little bit better sound quality. Now let's have a listen to that lick and a look at it demonstrated at full speed to a backing track, and after that you will see the tab for the whole thing in case you still have any doubt as to where your fingers should be going. And then that pretty much rounds things off for this week's Lick of the Week. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you live on Teesside and would like some personalised one-to-one tuition, then get in touch with me, John Robson at John Robson Guitar Tuition. You can email me john@jrguitar.co.uk, or you can give me a call on 07949 701 218, and your first lesson is free should you decide to take up some lessons with me. Right, see you all next week. Bye for now.